Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. If you've seen any of my recent stuff, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be being able to make this, to drink some tea, to hang out with you guys and share some Switch stuff, because it has been a way more intense and exhausting week than I expected, but big things are building, and I absolutely want to share them with you. So thanks for your patience, thanks for your support. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce, just beaming to be alive and being healthy and being here with all of you. We got to get into some good stuff. They're clearly prepping the waters for a big Nintendo Direct, including a game coming back that we thought may not come out at all. And we got some fun updates for what's going on with PlayStation and Nintendo. We'll kick it off though with GoldenEye. 007 is out on Switch Online, and that is good, especially with the multiplayer options, but apparently Nintendo didn't spend too much time thinking out the controls. The N64 flight stick is an abomination, and converting that to dual Joy-Con modern controls seems to have been an afterthought. So the controls are kind of crap, but there is some solutions here. Now, the Microsoft version lacks multiplayer, but it does have better controls. I don't really know why Nintendo didn't spend more time on this. It seems like an obvious thing, like trying to convert from a one joystick N64 controller to a multi-joystick Switch. Like, you should really be good at that. Like, we've been porting games forever now. I don't understand, but I'm going to link you to a cool solution. There is a way to remap buttons and way to even like kind of alter swap the Joy-Con, Houdini magic them out so that you're using them in opposite hands, like left and the right, right and the left, for easier, better controls that feel more normal, more natural, more modern. And look, I don't think we should have to come up with all sorts of crazy answers, but this is the world we have, where Nintendo releases the most anticipated N64 game with really cool multiplayer with friends, but they kind of forget about the controls. Anyways, I'll put a link there. Let me know in the comments if the fixes work for you, or if you have a better solution, or if you think the controls are fine. I'd love to hear from that perspective as well. Now then, we are real close to February. February is right around the corner, and a Wednesday coming soon to you and me is going to bring a bunch of awesome Switch announcements. The February Direct is on its way, and we know that more now than ever before, as the NSU IDs for 2 games have been updated on the Canadian eShop. In layman's terms, it means Nintendo is getting ready to update the game pages for 2 titles on the eShop, which means that they have new information, probably pre-orders, and maybe more. Now, the 2 games in question are The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Big surprise. We knew that was going to be getting more info soon. It just has to. But the other one is so interesting. Remember that little game that was supposed to come out forever ago, got delayed, and vanished? Yeah, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp just got a little behind-the-scenes update to its eShop page, and that means that they're probably going to announce this game is actually happening, which is really great. I know that there was really, valid reasons for delaying it, for kind of hiding it, but it seems like it's going to come out. And I wonder when Nintendo will choose to do this. If they're updating the eShop page, the only reason for Advance Wars would be a release. Zelda can just be a pre-order, but Advance Wars has to be a release. And I wouldn't put it past them to do something really abrupt, really short. Nintendo has used shortened cycles for games that they do want to promote. It seems like they kind of probably just want to push Advance Wars out there. Like, you're not going to be getting big statues at Walmart for this game. You're just going to get go buy it. And we saw Microsoft do a really cool stealth drop of their own earlier this week when Hi-Fi Rush from Bethesda and Tango Gameworks was just out. Now, that was a $30 game, but it still was a bigger reveal, and it was just out that day. A bigger project than, say, like a small indie game. So could Nintendo decide to make the Direct Day even more exciting by just unleashing Advance Wars? That would be really cool. I think it's possible, but the better bet is probably April. They have Fire Emblem Engage covering January, Octopath Traveler 2 covering February, and Kirby Return to Dreamland Remake covering March. May is Zelda. The summer will probably be Mario and more. April feels like a good spot, but I wouldn't put it past them to launch it in early March, or, like I said, even a same-day stealth drop. It would be Nintendo's biggest stealth drop, I think. I don't think they've ever done a $60 game stealth drop. I would love to see a price reduction. I think that would be a great way to make people feel good about this very messy release, but they're not going to do that. Nintendo knows they can make their money. This will be $60, and it seems like it'll be fun, so I am excited. And if Nintendo is already updating these things, it feels like the Direct is going to be a pretty big show. Like, for Zelda, we'll either get a new trailer or we'll get the announcement of an upcoming Zelda-focused Direct, and then they'll say, pre-orders are live now. And Advance Wars will get probably a trailer and a release date. What other games will be there? I mean, you can start to think that through, but I think this will be one of the most surprising Directs, one of the most unknown Directs, especially if they choose to save the bigger Zelda piece for its own show. Either they go Zelda heavy, or they have a ton of new stuff, because we've seen Kirby multiple times. We know Octopath Traveler 2 is coming. Fire Emblem's out. What else they got? It's probably time for a Mario game announcement or two. It's probably time for something we know nothing about or two. And maybe it's finally time for Donkey Kong or Metroid Prime Remake. I'm just very excited because now this Direct is like 2 or 3 weeks away. It's going to be in February, it's going to be a Wednesday, and it's going to be good. And I'm very glad to see that Zelda and Advance Wars will be a part of it, especially as that game has just kind of vanished for the greater part of a year. Like, it's just been gone. So let me know in the comments if you're, like, do you still have any hype for Advance Wars? Could Nintendo get you to get that game if it came out? And would a stealth drop make you more inclined to buy it than like an April release date? I feel like impulse buys would be important for this one. Like, oh, it's finally out, just want to play it. The graphics look good, but maybe they do want to give it some space from Fire Emblem Engage. April's probably my best bet for when we finally get to play Advance Wars once again. Furthermore, adding just even more legitimacy to something that already is so legitimate because it's Nintendo on their back end making updates, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp is back up for pre-order on Amazon Mexico after vanishing when it was up in the air. This feels like a whirlwind of evidence that this game is imminent. Hopefully you're excited. The tea is so delicious today. Let me tell you, I have not had my Tazo Passion in a while. Not had much sleep either, so it's extra refreshing, and it's refreshing to see PlayStation back on Nintendo. I always got to give a big round of applause when we get these crossovers, because it's not something that happened when I was little. And if I was a kid today, I'd be so geeked that Xbox has put games on the freaking Switch, that PlayStation has put games on the freaking Switch, and now another PlayStation console exclusive is moving to Switch on February 2nd. So that'll be next week, and this game has good pedigree. It's Annapurna, which is a great publisher, and the devs made Abzu, which I really, really liked. That was in the era when like Journey was really popular, these sort of moody, evocative games that try to elicit emotion through beautiful art and serene soundtracks. This game has more gameplay to it, and it's the Pathless, which is coming to Nintendo Switch next week. Just boom, it's gonna be here. You're sliding and slooping all over the place. You got a falcon and a bow and arrow, all things I love. It got pretty darn good reviews when it initially dropped on the PlayStation platforms, a 77 on Metacritic to be specific, but it does actually share similarities with The Legend of Zelda, with Breath of the Wild, because of the way you explore and move about the world, and of course, the bow and arrow action. I did not play much of this on PlayStation. If it runs well, if it's a good port, I want to pick this up. And I think it just adds to an already exciting early part of 2023 with so many unknowns. So many unknown games, and things like this are great. Sony console exclusives, come on down. Xbox console exclusives, come on down. PC platform exclusives, come on down. The Switch, in a way, despite being the least powerful system, despite being the least prepared system, despite being hardest system to make things work on, actually ends up having like one of the coolest catalogs in the history of the world. And yes, the Steam Deck is awesome. I use mine a lot, sort of ashamedly, since this is SwitchForce and not SteamForce. But forgetting the Steam Deck for a second, the Switch is just the miracle platform. It just does so much so well, and still, 7 years in, like, I'm so grateful that we have this system. I'm so grateful that Nintendo took this risk, and I'm so grateful that they built their outreach. Outreach was something that they struggled with on Wii U, and it's so good to see this happening here. And I think the next Direct is really going to show that for Nintendo, for third parties, and for franchises that we love playing on Nintendo, which is so odd. I mentioned the Call of Duty studio that looks to be opening to develop possibly exclusive Switch Call of Duty titles, or at least really quality ports. Like, things somehow are still looking up for a system that is antiquated, old, and we just wish would get updated. It's got a lot going for it. So if Nintendo chooses not to drop a Switch Pro or a mid-cycle upgrade, like, I understand. I understand. One more thing for the day, and that is Wario related. Now, a lot of people have said they want Wario Land to come back. We've even seen some rumors, although I don't feel like they're very substantiated, so less than a grain of salt, like grain of sand. But Pizza Tower is giving mad Wario vibes. It's got overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. It's out now, and it just screams Wario. So if Nintendo can't deliver us a first-party Wario, we need to get Pizza Tower on a Nintendo Switch. I mean, just look at this trailer. This pizza man, I mean, he really is Wario. He's a little happier, but he also has some maniacal nature. That TV with his face in the upper corner for the expressive emotes is exactly what Wario would do. And this game just looks like so much fun. Bring it to Switch. Give us the Pathless. Give us Advance Wars. Give us Pizza Tower. And if you're a Wario fan, say A in the comments down below. If you're a Waluigi fan, say B. If you love them both, just hit the like button, please. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Appreciate you all so much. Probably gonna go take a nap. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there, and really just warm wishes to you and all your loved ones. Hope everybody's good. Thank you again. SwitchForce out.